Welcome to a new episode. Today we're going to be looking at what it takes to build a base in Rust Experimental. First thing you're going to want to do is take your rock out and gather some stone and some wood. Once you've gathered some stone and wood, you'll want to craft a hammer and a stone hatchet. Once you're ready to build your base, you're going to need to craft some paper first. The paper will allow you to create a building plan, and that's going to be the basis for everything you make with your base from here on in. So from your foundations, to your walls, to your doors, your doorways, everything will be built using your building plan. So create some paper, and then from the paper, craft a building plan. Once you have your building plan crafted, you have everything you need to get your base set up. So first thing to do is press tab and drag and drop your building plan into your inventory box down the end. Then what you're going to need to do is to start crafting your base first with your foundations. The foundations are the basis of your base, and everything will be built upon them from here on in. Now I like to go with a 2x3 configuration. It's easy to set up, it's easy to maintain, and it's easy to defend. But obviously Rust is a sandbox, so you can try, experiment, and go with whatever configuration suits you. But just in terms of security, scalability, I like to go with this design. You can build your item by hitting it with the hammer. If you want to see the other available items you can build, just select your building plan and right click, and then you'll see a full list of what's available for you, from walls to the floor plan, to doorways, to triangle foundations. They're all available there from the get-go, from the very start. Unlike the previous version of Rust, you don't actually need any blueprints to build specific items in your base. Everything you need, you have from the day you log in. Once your walls are up, you're going to want to put a doorway in too, and this will act as the main entrance to your base. Then just begin to craft by hitting them with the hammer. Once they're crafted, you'll also want to add a door to your doorway and some ceilings. Now just be wary that the ceilings in Rust are actually listed as a floor plan, as they act as the floor for the next level of your base. So if you're looking to put a ceiling or a roof up, it's listed as floor plan. So just select that, and that will create the ceiling for you. You're going to want to add a lock to your door. Now before you do this, you're going to need to smelt some ore. And you can do this with a furnace. So find an animal, kill it and gut it, and you can create low-grade fuel from its animal fat. And once you've got some low-grade fuel together, then just craft a furnace and smelt some more. Once you've got 10 metal fragments, you can create a lock for the door. A new addition to Rust is how you actually pick items up from your inventory. If you select the item with your mouse from the bottom aspect of the item, you will pick up only one item, or the lowest amount you can pick up. And selecting the top part of it allows you to pick up the maximum amount of items. So it's a little bit finicky, it takes a while to get used to it. Once you're used to it, it's pretty straightforward. Now with your ore smelted, just craft a lock for the door, and place the lock on the door, and then you can later craft or generate a key. Each door has got its own separate key, so it is a little bit cumbersome and tedious, but it should be improved in later releases of Rust Experimental. The newest addition to Rust Experimental is a new leveling system for your base. Now this was not in existence in the previous version of Rust, and if someone wanted to attack your base, they would simply just craft a number of C4 explosives, and 2 to 3 would be sufficient to take a wall down. Now in the new version of Rust, you've got a leveling system that means the higher the level of the object in your base, the more time it takes to knock it down. And there are no explosives in Rust Experimental, so the only way to take a wall or a door down is through grit, time, and dedication. So if you want to level up your base, it's simply a matter of just hitting an object with your hammer. The door, the doorway, the walls, the foundations, and the roof. You've got to level everything, because you can level the doors, you can level the walls, you can level the roof, but if you leave your foundations on level 1, someone can just take the foundations out and come in through the foundations. So make sure if you are leveling to level everything to an even level. Rust Experimental has 6 levels for your base. The first 2 use wood, the second 2 use stone, and the final 2 use metal fragments. Now, the obvious goal is to try to get all of your base in its entirety to level 6 as soon as possible. But in the medium term, try get your base to level 4, and this should keep you secure while you smelt ore to get those metal fragments to get your base to level 6. Now, when you do level your base up, you need to level everything up, and that includes the foundations, because you can have your walls and doors and so forth at level 6, but if your foundations are at level 1 or level 2, people can just use that to attack your base and use that as an entry point.